KMIR Sports. From the Legal Docs by Me Sports Desk, here's Julie Bueller.
What a great win on Sunday Night Football for the Raiders, huh? They're now the top team in the best division in football, but they're only surprising those who haven't been paying enough attention. And the same could be said for some of our local high school football teams who had postseason hopes at the start of the season and delivered. Well, today we learned who their postseason opponents are. Rancho Mirage and La Quinta are both in the postseason thanks to their winning their leagues. The Rattlers are the 2 seed and they'll host Los Amigos out of Fountain Valley Friday. While the Blackhawks, the 7 seed in Division 5, they'll host Redlands. Palm Springs makes the playoffs for the 17th consecutive season. Very impressive for the Indians, and they are the 6th seed in Division 4. They're going to host Colony out of Ontario. Here's what Friday night's schedule will look like. We also need to say congratulations to the Coachella Valley Mighty Arabs. They're the 9th seed in Division 11. They're making the playoffs for the first time since 2010, but they have to go on the road to face a tough Montebello team. We'll have 3 local spots to enjoy some Friday night lights. And while our local teams get set for the playoffs, the NFL season, it's only halfway done. And for those teams that don't look playoff bound, I don't know, like the Chargers, well, get this. Last year, 5 teams that were even or had a losing record at this point in the season, they made the playoffs. So, how about some hope for Charger fans? And the Chargers offense certainly took care of business today against the visiting Tennessee Titans. Now, the Chargers offensive coordinator, Ken Whisenhunt, he was the Titans head coach last year. Well, the Titans fired him, the Chargers hired him, and Philip Rivers has been enjoying a remarkable year thanks to Whisenhunt. He finished with 275 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Melvin Gordon, he enjoyed a career day today. Get this, 196 yards on the ground. And, of course, the go-ahead score in a very exciting win, 43-35. Here's Melvin Gordon. Boom! In the end zone. Now, 43-35 the win. Get this. Just days before, San Diego will vote on whether or not to approve a subsidiary and keep the team in town. Meanwhile, let's go to Santa Clara. The Niners were hosting the Saints after their bye week. And look, football is not rocket science, okay? There's a few facts about the game that are true no matter what level. Number 1, if you have more turnovers than touchdowns, you're not likely to win games. Number 2, if you can't stop the run, you'll have a tough time stopping anyone. This is Mark Ingram, finishing with 158 yards on 15 carries. That's a first down every time he touches the ball, ladies and gentlemen. The Saints marched all over the 49ers, 248 rushing yards in total. Final, 41-23. An ugly game in Santa Clara. Also an ugly game at the LA Coliseum. Now, the Carolina Panthers, who've been struggling all this year, well, except against every team but the ones in the NFC West. In fact, the Panthers' only wins on the season have come against what used to be the toughest division in football, the NFC West. Stop me if you've heard this before. The Rams offense struggled yet again. It was an ugly game, but it's the kind of one you'd expect the Rams to win, except they didn't. Panthers get the win, 13-10. And then there's this. One of the best times of the year is the fall, right? Here's a little guy who wanted to play football. He just wants to play. Put him in, coach. This Squirrel actually stopped the game, Colts and Packers. Now, the Colts got a big win over the Packers, and that was exciting. But I'm thinking the Packers might want this kid's running game. They couldn't run the ball against the Colts, so maybe they want to employ the Squirrel. But that's a nice little bit of levity on a very tough day, especially for Cleveland fans, Angela. I don't know when Cleveland's going to get a break. Their team just lost in the World Series to the Cubs, and now the Browns remain winless after a blowout against the Cowboys, who are very impressive this year.
I'm sorry about the 49ers.
I
like to express a little sympathy every time for Julie.
I got to laugh to keep from crying. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty bad right now. And, you know, we saw on Jimmy Fallon last night that your team's supposed to be able to hear you. It's not true. It's not true.
Can't quite yell quite loud enough for the TV yet.
Chip Kelly, Colin Kaepernick did not hear me at all today.
Thanks, Julie. Well, coming up next, the